Let's talk about a name that's just legendary in American history, Ted Williams. Now, you probably know him as a baseball icon, but his real story is so much more. It's about this incredible talent, sure, but also about sacrifice and a drive for perfection that went way beyond the ballpark. Everything really starts with this number, .406. To most people, that's just a decimal, right? But in the world of baseball, oh, this number is mythical. It's like climbing Mount Everest. And here's why it's such a big deal. Hitting .400 means you get a base hit 40% of the time you step up to the plate, over a whole season. Williams did it way back in 1941, and nobody has done it since. Get this, on the very last day of the season, his average was technically .39955. They would have rounded that up to .400. He could have just sat on the bench and protected it. But no, he chose to play in a doubleheader, got 6 more hits, and finished at .406. That just tells you everything you need to know about him.
So how did he do something that no one else has managed to pull off? Well, it wasn't just some raw natural talent. For Ted Williams, hitting was a science, and he was its greatest practitioner.
I mean, just look at his career. The guy was a 19-time All-Star. He won the batting title 6 different times. He was named the league's most valuable player twice. This wasn't just a lucky season. This was pure sustained dominance for decades.
You know, his success wasn't an accident. He literally wrote the book on the subject, called The Science of Hitting. Williams was famous for having unbelievable eyesight, and he was obsessed. He studied every pitcher. He broke down the strike zone into tiny zones. Every single at-bat was like this high-stakes chess match that he was absolutely determined to win.
And look, there's really no debate here. Whenever experts start talking about the Mount Rushmore of hitters, Ted Williams isn't just in the conversation, his spot is basically guaranteed. But here's where the story takes this incredible turn. Right when he was at the absolute peak of his powers, his life path veered from the batter's box straight into the cockpit of a fighter jet. The timeline of his career is it's wild. Think about it. Right after that historic .406 season, he's gone. He's serving as a Marine Corps pilot in World War II. He comes back, becomes the best hitter in the game all over again, and then he leaves again to fly combat missions in the Korean War. It's unbelievable. Just let this number sink in. 5. That's almost 5 full seasons right in the heart of his prime that he gave up to serve his country in not 1, but 2 wars. It really is one of the biggest what-ifs in sports history. Can you even imagine the records he would have shattered? The number of home runs, the hits? It's just staggering to think about what his final stats might have looked like. And all of that sacrifice is what makes the final act of his career so incredible. It's this amazing story of resilience, and it's capped off with an ending that honestly feels like it's straight out of a movie. So even with those 5 years just gone from his prime, his final numbers are still legendary. A career .344 batting average, 521 home runs, 2 MVPs. I mean, those are Hall of Fame numbers, period, even with the massive interruptions. And here it is, the storybook moment, his very last time ever at the plate, in Boston, in front of his home crowd, he hits a home run. You just can't write a better ending than that. It was like his final exclamation point on an amazing career. So about 6 years after that perfect final swing, the call he always deserved finally came. A call from a little town in upstate New York called Cooperstown. And of course, he was a first-ballot Hall of Famer. It wasn't even a question. He sailed into baseball's most sacred club with overwhelming support, which just shows you the kind of respect he commanded across the entire sport.
But if you think the story stops there, with the Hall of Fame, you are mistaken. See, his greatness wasn't just limited to a baseball diamond. His legacy is so much bigger, revealing a guy who mastered more than just one craft.
And this right here is what makes his story so unique. We all know about Cooperstown, but after he retired from baseball, he took all of that intensity and poured it into another passion, fishing. He used the same skills, that legendary eyesight, that analytical mind, that total obsession, and became such a master that he was also inducted into the International Game Fish Association Hall of Fame, 2 completely different fields, and he reached the absolute pinnacle of both. So when you step back and look at the whole picture, you see this person of just incredible focus. He wasn't just a ball player, he was a decorated war hero, he was a master outdoorsman.
And he's a Hall of Famer in two totally separate worlds.
In the end, Ted Williams' life really leaves you with a big question. How do you even measure greatness? His story kind of challenges us to look past just one single accomplishment and instead see greatness for what it is, a relentless, lifelong pursuit of excellence in, well, everything you do. Truly one of a kind.